What's up guys, Nathan here. So I know school's right around the corner and many of you are probably in the market for a new device, whether a laptop or a tablet of some sorts. I'm here to go over why I believe the iPad is a student's best friend in college. I recently got this and it's completely changed my workflow, my productivity, and overall just helped me ace my last semester, and I truly believe that it can help you ace yours as well. So I currently have the standard 128 gigabyte 11-inch iPad Pro that came out in 2020, so this is now the M1 version. But there's really, besides the processor and a few other little things, they're pretty much the same tablet, and I would also make this very comparable to the iPad Air 4th generation. So whether you're in the market for any of those, I believe that this video is going to help you a lot. At the time I got this iPad was going for $750, which I know is a lot, but I was very lucky for my parents to get me this for the holidays. I have now used this iPad for an entire semester, and it's completely changed the way I do things. As a current college student, I'm here to break down the 4 categories as to why I truly believe that this iPad will help you with your upcoming semester. Those 4 categories are portability, productivity, entertainment, and enjoyment. So the first category I want to get into is portability. So throughout college, I've always used the Surface Book 2 as my main note-taking device. I always bring it to class, did homework on it, and everything like that. There are some big downfalls with this though. It is big. It's a big boy. This is the 13.5-inch Surface Book 2. I got it senior year of high school. Almost been 4 years since I've had this. And if you can tell, it's very thick. It's got the hinge creates this little gap in there, so it's thicker on one side than the other, and it's heavy. This thing weighs just about 3.5 pounds. And so compare that to the iPad Pro, which only weighs 741 grams, which is just slightly over 1 pound. So this is almost 3.5 times lighter than it, and it's also a lot smaller. So portability, just between transferring from this to this, it's been so much easier to carry around. Like, I don't have like this big laptop in my backpack. I always have gym stuff in my backpack because I'll usually just go to gym like in between classes and stuff like that. So not having to worry about my laptop taking up a large portion of the stuff in my backpack, it just made it a lot easier to carry around. And when I'm walking upstairs, Syracuse is a big campus. This has really been a game changer for me, just the size and portability of it. I'm honestly going to say that the 11-inch iPad Pro is plenty big for any student. If you want, you can definitely get the 12.9-inch iPad, but it's really not worth it that much. That's slightly smaller than this, and I've found that a lot of like pull-out desks, the ones that come up and fold over you, my laptop would just take up the entire space, if not just be hanging over the edge. And it left me with little to no room for like a calculator, pens and pencils, any other like reference sheet I was given. It made it very cluttered. And so even switching to this, like, I've noticed how it just fits on those desks better, and the screen is perfectly fine. There's a lot of room to write on, and I've never had a problem wishing I had a bigger screen. And I'm coming from someone who had a larger screen to write on beforehand. So the second category I want to mention is productivity. And this is by far the most important for any college student. And there are a few specific apps I want to point out that I've completely utilized the whole last semester. So the first one is email. Everyone gets emails from their school a couple times a day. When I first got there, they always told me to check your email right in the morning and then before you go to bed. And so there are plenty of email apps out there, but by far my favorite is Outlook. The email app, when you pull it up, brings up your emails, and you'll see in the top left corner there's Focused and Other. And this app is so good. I don't know what algorithms they're using, but keep it up, Microsoft. They have such a good way of sorting through your Focused section, which is all like your important emails, stuff directly to you, stuff that you need to know. And then if you click over on the Other section, it's all like your spam email. Everything that you don't want to see goes right there. I know like the Apple email app doesn't really do this. It just gives you all the emails and you have like 2,000 email notifications and it just seems daunting. But with Outlook, it only breaks down into like the important ones. And so those are the ones that you'll get the little notification dot, the little red circle from your focus group. And it's just so easy, so simple. And what I love most about this actually is at the bottom right, there's a little calendar icon. You click on that and it brings up the calendar. And I use this all the time, from putting down exam dates, homework dates, stuff I gotta do when I'm on RA call, put those days down, and anything else. You can color coordinate everything. So all like my RA duties, whether I'm on phone or at the main desk, I always categorize those with orange. Any final exams or exams coming up, I categorize with the color red, and just day-to-day stuff is blue. It's a great way for me to stay organized, know what's coming up, know due dates, and that's why Outlook is my go-to app. So the next type of app I want to talk about is note-taking. I've tried GoodNotes 5 and I've tried Notability, and the one I always go back to is Notability. Something about the iPad experience with that is just unmatched, and I'm going to run through quickly all the different sections that you have, the folders, and I love this organization. It's so simple and clean and easy to recognize. So if you go on the left and you pull it up, you're actually able to change the color you want. And I color coordinate everything. I just think it keeps it nice and simple and easy to see. If a document goes in the wrong one, I'm able to quickly switch over. And so when you click on that first folder, you come up with sections. And these sections I usually break down into my lecture notes, my recitations if I have them, homework sections, and then exams and study guides. And when you click on that section, to the right is all of your documents, all the separate notes within that. So when I go into this specific homework for one of my classes, you're able to see that you can quickly and easily import a scanned document or a PDF into Notability and bring it in, and it just pops up right there on the page. I love that. You're able to just write on it, highlight it, do whatever you want with it. Then you're able to add pages below it. And so, because I'm an engineer, I always have to like make quick plots, quick graphs, charts, stuff like that. I always use the grid paper. And so to do that, you go up to the top right, the three dots, press paper, and you're able to pick between a bunch of options. I always go with the grid, and it's super nice and clean. Another go-to tip that I always use is your favorites bar. That is the bar at the top right there with all like pre-saved pens and highlighters that I use in different colors. I color coordinate a whole bunch of my notes. Like for example, like any equations I'll get, any new equations, I change my purple pen and I'll write it in that just so I can quickly, like when I'm breezing through, I see the equations that pop up. For like my main homework problems, I use the black color, and then red is for like little like important notes throughout the problem, and then blue is just other important stuff. And I'll use all other colors for like different graphs and stuff like that. But I love having this bar up here where you can quickly switch between one and another, and it's all right there. For those reasons, this is my go-to note app. So the third main category I want to cover is entertainment. So this thing is so great to watch anything on, from YouTube to Netflix, any sort of streaming service, whether you're listening to music through it. This thing is a media beast. I love it. The speakers, there are 4 speakers, 2 at the bottom, 2 at the top. It creates like a nice kind of surround sound around the iPad. They sound great. Out of any device, way better than my laptop speakers. These are second to none, and it really makes any sort of music listening, video watching, just such a pleasure to experience on the iPad. So the fourth and final category for why I truly believe that college students should get an iPad is just the enjoyment it gives you. It changed the way I learned. It made it fun again. After 2.5 years of mechanical engineering, like I was beaten down, and my laptop was starting to show its age. It was always crashing on me. I always had to like reset in the middle of class, and sometimes like a quiz was coming up and I had to get it out, and it just created like a lot of stress. And because this is so great, I've completely stopped bringing my laptop to class with me. There's no need for it because I can almost do everything that the laptop can with my iPad. The only thing I still use my laptop for is like typing up papers, typing up lab reports, working on shared documents with other group mates. But before I head back to school, I do plan on getting a keyboard case, and then I can honestly see myself like never needing that. This thing literally does everything my laptop did and better for like a third of the price. So I know this is still expensive, but not compared to that. For anyone here trying to justify the price point of these iPads, I'm here to tell you it is so worth it. It's gonna make your life so much easier, more enjoyable. It's so thin and portable. You can't go wrong with the iPad. If price is a big problem for you, the iPad Air 4th generation is perfect too. The main difference is the screen without the 120 hertz refresh rate. And if you're coming from anything besides an iPad Pro, which I don't know why you go from an iPad Pro to a 4th gen iPad Air, the 60 hertz refresh rate, you won't notice a difference and it is perfectly fine. It starts at $600, and if you bump it up to the second storage space, you get twice the storage at the same price as you would for the iPad Pro. So that's my recommendation, is definitely go for the iPad Air unless you're dying for that 120 hertz refresh rate. That is like the only main practical difference that you're going to see. And so my final verdict for if a college student should get the iPad is it's a go. You got to do it. It's perfect. And you're going to love it the same way I have. It's going to make your life so much easier the way it's made mine. It's honestly like made learning easier for me. Going through notes, staying up to date on everything. I don't have a single flaw about this. And so that's going to be it for the video. So if you learned something, if I made your decision easier, or if I helped you make that purchase decision, please drop a like, subscribe, and in the comments, actually, comment down which iPad you're gonna get, or have, or want to get. I'm kind of curious. I want to like compare like how many people are getting what type of iPad, and I think it'll be cool. So again, my name's Nathan. Thanks for watching. Bye.